NuPhy is knocking Hall effect keyboards out of the park, and this is the third in a row for their new HE lineup. And this one is pre-sale as low as $89 and $99 for retail. It's breaking the keyboard market. One bias I'll call out is I love NuPhy keyboards. First of all, their build quality, what you get with them inside the box, their new software that's web-based, and just the overall look and feel of a NuPhy keyboard. So take that as you will. I think it's always important to call out a bias when you're going to watch a video of mine. I love their stuff. And even though they sent this out to me, so you're still going to get an honest and transparent review. So let's jump into it because there's a lot to go over in this very small package. NuPhy sent me out a few accessories to go along with the keyboard, and this two-tone wrist rest is really nice. It comes with 3 levels of foot pads, but the only thing with these is that if you use these, it takes away the orange color that comes stock on the wrist rest. Now, I think that this orange color gives it a really nice pop of color, and you can see it through the wrist rest because it's a two-tone see-through acrylic wrist rest, and so I think that pop of color looks really good, but not a major deal if you need it to be at a different height. These shine through keycaps are nice. I like the font on them. The font is larger than what comes with it, and they're shine through as well. I think they're well made. When you look at these, there is some markings as far as like the molds, but that's not a big deal at all. You'll never see that from the top when using this on the keyboard. You can hear the texture and the feel of these, and they feel really well put together. Listen to this. I think the only caveat for me is that if you do decide to use these keycaps, you cannot use the ghost bar. I think it's called the ghost bar, the insert that goes on the inside of the space bar that helps it with sound, because these don't align the same as the stock space bar that comes along with this keyboard. So if you decide to switch over, then you're going to have to keep the gray while using the black, which isn't the worst looking thing. It just is not ideal. Continuing on, inside the box, you're going to get a lot of stuff to come with the keyboard. First of all, you get this mat that is all of the short key cuts, key binds, and things like that help you understand how to use the keyboard, along with this little poster on the back. There's a dust cover. I love that they include these now on everything. Inside of this is some extra keycaps. The one caveat on this one is that it only comes with one option button, and so you can't do both option buttons on this if you switch over to these Mac key combinations. It does have the same cable as the Field HE, so I'm going to keep that on my desk. And then this is a nice switch and keycap puller. The keyboard itself, it looks really good, and of course it's a NuPhy product, so it feels great. Listen to this. Now it's a metal outside frame on the top and then plastic at the bottom. You can hear that. There is some branding around it or around the keyboard, but it doesn't look bad in my opinion. Overall, I think this is a very nice looking keyboard, well-built keyboard. There is one caveat or one thing that I wish was a little bit better, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and switch this one out and put this one on my desk. So this is the software for NuPhy, and this is their web-based software, so now you don't have to download or install anything on your PC or Mac, which is cool because Mac makes everything difficult. On your keyboard itself, you have 3 different settings here. The first one is Mac, the second one is Windows, and the third is app configuration, and that's basically if you're going to set a setting specific for one particular game. And that's if you're like, I always play Fortnite, I always play Call of Duty, I always play blah, blah, blah. But we're in Mac. And so this is the base settings that you're gonna see here. When you get here, you're gonna see Halo65 HE, that's the keyboard that we're on, and that's the mode that we're in, which is Mac. And you can customize all of your buttons. And so this is a 65% layout, and so I'm not gonna have function keys, I'm not gonna have the side keys, etc., that you would find on a TKL. Now, obviously, with this being a Hall effect magnetic keyboard, this is the bread and butter of the software. This is where you can adjust all of your keys. And if you see here, every single key is available to adjust. Now, if you wanted to set custom actuation points, you would click on this, and then right here is where you can set the actuation point. You can even set up a dead zone situation if you feel that one of your keys isn't responding appropriately. Rapid trigger, say for instance I wanted to turn this one on as a rapid trigger. Right here is the actual point step, rapid trigger step. Here's where you activate it, here's where you release it. You can change that. I love the fact of how thorough this is, that you can adjust multiple switches at once. Say for instance if there were certain keys that you always used during the game and you wanted to adjust just those and you wanted to use the rest, leave the rest of them stock, you can do that. You can control RGB on this as well. So this is my own, it's not a gripe, but this being the Halo65 HE, the Halos are typically super bright on these. And this one is really dim. I got excited when they sent me out the wrist rest, and I thought this was gonna be super bright and that it was going to kind of shine through here a little bit. And I like on my other Halo65 just a regular Halo65 V2, that you can see that light on the side, especially when I have these dark desk pads like this, you can see that light around there, and you can't do that with this. And so that's one thing that I'm not like, oh my God, it's horrible, but I feel like they missed out on this being bright like the other one, right? And so maybe you have to go get the other one to get that same brightness, but I can turn this, up to 100 and it still is not shining through, and it's still not ultra shiny, like I would want it to be. And so that's one thing that I'm like, I wish that was a little bit better. Here's where you can adjust the settings of the keyboard, basically the internals. 8,000 hertz polling rate, which is super freaking fast. You can lock the Windows key to prevent you from doing the pop-up activation. I've seen somebody else turn down the sensitivity on the Windows button, etc., so that it doesn't launch during the game. But overall, I think this software is extremely sweet. I think that the software is, again, like I said, it's super simple, it's easy to understand, and I think it's extremely thorough at the exact same time. I think that this is one of the smoothest softwares that I've used in keyboards, and I love the fact that you do not have to install anything mostly. That's the biggest thing for me. Let me know your thoughts on this software in the comment section. Okay, to bring this home, this is a phenomenal gaming keyboard. It is so well built. I mean, the Jade Pro switches that come along with it, they feel really good. I like the way that they feel. It's still interesting to me that they use stems at the bottom of their magnetic switches compared to some of the other ones that I've seen. The board itself is built really well. I mean, it's stocky. You heard it in the typing test. It's so stocky. But I wanted to cover this in the gaming section. This has every feature that you can think about from the Hall effect gaming keyboard for craze that is going on right now. And I mean every feature, whether it's mod tap, toggle key, rappy tappy, snappy tappy as they call it on some of the other boards. They call it rapid shift and SOCD here, including hyper tap, which I believe the Wooting doesn't have yet, or at least in the most recent software that I've seen for that. But every feature that you need to compete at the highest level, you can find on this keyboard and in this software. I think that NuPhy is breaking the keyboard market right now with the price of this thing sitting at $89 for the pre-sale as of today when it launches in November 5th. 2024, depending on when you watch this, but breaking the market at $89 for the Coral switch, and then $99 for the Jade Pro switch that will go up to retail to $109 and $119, I believe, respectively. But either way, 65% keyboard with all of these features at this build quality is phenomenal. I cannot suggest this keyboard enough. This is an easy to recommend keyboard. And again, keep in mind what I said earlier. I love the NuPhy keyboards, but even with that being said, I still objectively believe this is one of the best keyboards on the market, specifically within this price range, from 85 to 100, 120 bucks. I think this smashes competition above this price range and below this price range. I mean, technology is really starting to get more affordable in this keyboard space, and I think this applies a lot of pressure to the keyboard market. So, do me a favor. Join the Cozy Coalition and hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed today's content. And a like goes a long way as well to help the algorithm and get this video out to more folks. But as always, stay cozy in that crazy world, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.